developed using the technology which was based on Star Wars. Thank you.
I'm from a different generation than you guys. So I was actually alive back in the 70s and 80s. I remember seeing it as a kid with my dad. There's something about dads. I enjoyed it as much as a kid would. Nowadays, as a grown-up, what I love about it is, possibly because of my job, the visual part. The vision of a different world, of a different universe that mixes cultural influences in such a beautiful way. How many of us haven't thought of samurais when they saw Darth Vader for the first time? Or even when they hear Yoda's philosophy. There's bits and pieces of Asian influences that are mingled and mixed in Star Wars in a beautiful visual way, and that's my main thing. That's what I love about it the most.
Okay. I saw the movie first with my mother. I was sick, so she gave me this movie, Star Wars Episode 1, and I watched it, and I loved it. I just loved it. I love the dark side a lot. The light is okay, but I just love the dark side. And everything was dark.
Thank you, everybody. And of course, I do not like Star Wars, so that's easy enough. It's interesting, though, to listen to everybody's story about the first time they saw Star Wars as a kid. It's a little weird to know that there was a time where there was no Star Wars, and now it's become a rite of passage or a way of life. And in much the same way as a child is reaching a milestone of, you're finally not wearing diapers anymore, you're old enough to go to school, you're old enough to learn to drive, you're old enough, you're old enough for Star Wars. And there comes a day when the parents sit the kids down and says, if you want dessert, watch this. And that's how we are born these days. We are moving on to the next question. It says, what are your current goals? I'm assuming that means within the club, or how the club will help you with goals outside the club, but you know what? I'm going to leave it to them to explain the details.
I think it's mostly about, well, at least I hope it is, about the club's goals as a whole. In general, our goals are set around promoting the Star Wars universe in our country, giving people better access to what it means to be a Star Wars fan, to the means of getting costumes, getting gear like we have. Those are our biggest goals, really. Just making Star Wars in Romania more of a household name like it is in other countries like the States or, the UK, Germany, and so on. That is one of our main goals. Another future goal of ours will be to look into charitable events. I'm sure some of you may have heard of the many 501st fan clubs in the rest of the world. They help out as much as they can with their costumes and how people love them. They choose to put some of their time and effort into helping different charities, and that's something we've been wanting to look into as well. So that's mostly our goals.
This is from the gentleman who knows what he's talking about. So our next question is, what would you consider to be the benefits of membership in the club, I guess, but again, we will have him explain.
One of the biggest benefits of being in the fan club is getting to turn on lightsabers, I guess. Mine turned off because it's being weird. Yeah, basically having a community of people like this next to you, people that have lightsabers and like to dress up and do crazy things. Look at Ken over there. I mean, he's doing that, obviously. But yeah, in every fan club around the world, the community will always be the number one benefit. You get. Thank you, Ken.
Okay. We're awake now.
That definitely helped, didn't it? So yeah, the community of people that do that to your microphone while you're talking. what can I say? There's no greater benefit. There's that, but obviously in Star Wars, being a rather comprehensive universe, there's the benefit of developing new hobbies. And out of those hobbies, new professions. Ken, I believe, has a wonderful story about his cosplaying hobby and how it evolved into prop making. Am I right? Do I have anything on the dot there?
Actually, it tends to go hand in hand. Basically, you build your own costume, and sooner or later, somebody will come up to you and say, "I'll give you money if you make one for me." The next thing you know, you're a professional prop maker. So it's not a hard transition. It's just a difference between doing it for yourself and doing it for other people who actually are willing to pay you. So everybody can hope. This is not an exclusive club.
One more thing before we stop the question. There's one other benefit that Star Wars generally brings to the world as a whole. Being a Star Wars fan in general helps people's creativity. Fiction always helped that. Science fiction much more so, especially when you look, I mean, there's so many articles about the many inventions that we now have and we now get to use thanks to movies like Star Wars and Star Trek. So that is definitely a benefit that goes to the whole world thanks to different crazy Star Wars fans.
Okay, I was going to say our next question is what would you consider to be the benefits, but it sounds like that was part and parcel of the answers you just gave.
Wasn't that the question you asked?
It was what are your current goals?
No, you asked the benefits one after that, and that's what we answered.
I did goals and I did benefits.
Yep.
Darth can't count. Okay, so that's all right because I think they kind of dovetailed with each other nicely. So our next question is, what are your roles within the fan club?
Okay, so I think this is a question I should be answering too. I was telling you earlier about the roles. I was talking about myself as being Jedi Knight Rain. He is Jedi Knight Toran. Master, sorry. He's been declared a master recently. Okay, so what are these roles? They are fictional titles we give each other for according to the jobs we're doing in the fan club. For example, when you are a freshman in our club, you are given tasks like Chobi over there in the first row. Small tasks according to your membership. So you're new and you don't know how we do stuff. You need to learn and keep your pace with us. So you can do simple tasks like looking over the Facebook page, for example, Club Star Wars Romania Facebook page, and filming the event or taking pictures at events. So you can see a fresh member doing his tasks right now.
Thank you.
Let me talk a bit about our roles. So when you freshly sign up to our club, you are a Padawan, like Padawan Chobi over there, and you have these simple tasks, or a Sith acolyte. We have two Sith masters over here. We have Darth Vader, Darth Ken, Vulgus, and Darth Atreus, who actually couldn't come today. Actually, as I know, right? He couldn't. Yeah. Okay, so he's not coming. No. Are you an acolyte or a master? So I can introduce you properly. Okay, so she's a master. She'll kill me. Okay. What are Jedi Knights? Jedi Knights are actually the mid-level rank in our club, so we do all of the hard work, like talking to... We actually do.
This is the hard work? I didn't know.
This is not the hard work. The hard work is organizing stuff, is mobilizing people. Because we always find ourselves when we are, for example, invited to an event like this one. Okay, we are invited. We have something to do over there. What will we do? Who is going to come? Everybody has problems, everybody has something to do. What we will do at the event. So, First of all, we need to mobilize people. We need to get our activities in order. We have some activities in our background, and I think Ken will ask us about that later. So actually, these are the roles. According to what you do in the fan club, Jedi Masters have a bit of a political role because, for example, Aline, you just seen, is a Jedi Master. He's one of the founding fathers of the club. Yeah, the Jedi Council also. The Masters, the Jedi Masters in our club are in the Jedi Council. What's the Jedi Council? Also a fictional title for an administrative council. It's basically the same thing. Okay?
Basically, as Radu said, our roles are pretty much definitive of everybody's level of dedication in the club. So, as he said, Padawans and Acolytes are people that are new to the club and want to help us. We always need help. Every community always needs help to help organize all these wonderful events that we go to. So, obviously, the more you dedicate yourself to helping us, the more you can advance in these ranks. They are there to help us find people that want to help us. The council itself is pretty much for the most dedicated people, the ones that spend too much time organizing these events. And that's about it on our rank file. Ken, you may continue.
Yeah, and like I said, the ones that come just for the fun parts, we're called honorary. The next two questions I'm going to combine because they're fairly similar, and if you answer one, you're pretty much going to answer the next one. It's how can people find you, and how can someone join the fan club? And I do this because I assume you want them to find you to join the fan club, not to hunt you down and kill you.
Well, some of you might want to hunt us down and kill us. I mean, it depends how we get along, doesn't it? And we do have the odd pesky bounty hunter that guy sends after us every now and then. But yes, indeed, for anybody that wants to check us out and eventually join us, maybe join us on some of these crazy events, you can find us on Facebook at the moment. We actually have a website, but it's currently down for processing and maintenance. Just look up Club Star Wars Romania on Facebook and you will definitely find our webpage. That is how you can find us, and just leave a message there or leave one to any of the members that you see on that page. I'll let Radu cover the other part.
So the other part is how can you join the fan club? Like Toran said, after you have found